Hello viewers, thought I'd kick off a stream today. I'm just sitting here and I thought why not have a little stream, do a bit of racing or something, try a couple of different games out, and so here I am doing a bit of racing gaming action. And while the stream warms up a bit, I'll just get everything organised here and then we'll be ready to go. So let's see what we can set up on our streaming. And then ready to go. I actually normally my setup's not quite working right as it should here. Here we go. And hello to those joining now. Just editing here, and we'll be ready to go. Yeah, it's funny actually when you're looking at YouTube, you know, I run Restream, and it was highlighted to me the other day as well that there is a way of streaming by reducing the you know, how long it is till I see messages, because there's like a 30-second delay. So you'll write a message, but at the moment I don't know how to set that in Restream, obviously, because I don't stream directly to you viewers. Oh goodness, what an action week it's been for racing gaming news. What a week it's been, viewers. It's been a busy week, lots going on. We did have a podcast recorded last week, but it's unfortunately I didn't get around to uploading it because I didn't have time to edit the video, basically. But I might just upload it as a podcast, not as a video podcast, just so you can hear my usual rant from a week or so ago. And then and I'm just sitting as I'm sitting here now. Hello to viewers here. Who do we have? We've got Adam, we've got LCK. And we've got Last Stage Gaming as well. Hello chaps, we'll do a bit of racing today. I've got a couple of things set up. I've got a bit of this, and might do a bit of PC gaming as well here. We've got a bit of that set up as well, so it's all sort of ready to go for the stream. And now I'm just you know, I mean, obviously the racing stuff, I haven't actually sorted this out yet. I don't know if there's any sound or what was going on with the game sound. Oh goodness, don't know what's going on there, but we'll come back to that. And you can tell with Gran Turismo if it's even working properly, because has it crashed or what? We'll find out in a minute, viewers. I mean, obviously everything goes wrong, doesn't it? You turn on your PlayStation, everything's working, and then all of a sudden it just all freezes as soon as you hold on, let's see if we can just no. Okay, that's all right. That's working. So something is working there. Okay, don't quite know what's going on with the doodad. Let's just do that. It's not working for us, viewers. Not working. Right, let's just no. This happens sometimes. I can't change my. So hold on. All three TVs use the same remote, so I have to change the AV on the centre one, and sometimes it's really hard finding an angle. There we are. Or I can't change it. Okay, let's just get into that then. And Mr. 30, I thought that was you, Mr. 30. I thought that was you, Mr. 30. We've got a more sensible gamer tag now. We've got a family-friendly gamer tag, or let's say gamer tag YouTube name. I'm just trying to figure out. Somebody, Last Ninja, I think it was the other day, highlighted a low latency option, and I'm just trying to find out whether I can change it midstream. And buffer it, or whether it's something that needs to be changed before the stream. I wasn't thinking at the time, because all this needs to be so much to set up, because I stream to several different websites. it's all a little bit more confusing. And we can't change it now, so I don't know what the latency situation is, because it doesn't actually highlight what's set to or what's going on. So we can't change it this stream, but I'll certainly try and change the latency next time, so that we can chat and I can see you guys and the chat isn't too slow, but at least you can see on the screen when I see the chat arriving. Though the chat has been breaking quite a bit, unfortunately. That's been a bit of an issue. I'm just going to pop out the YouTube chat so I can see that nice and clearly. So gradually, it's funny actually, I've been doing this streaming now for a few months, and yet there's always so much to learn on it. It feels like, there's this whole world of streaming on different formats that, you've got new terminology and stuff to learn with your setups, and see if I can just figure out how to. I learned it the other day how to pop out the chat on the Twitter, but it's not popping out the chat today. I don't know why. Come on, Twitch. Oh, see, normally I have a countdown clock going. If you've ever seen recently, I've got my normal countdown clock. But I thought today I'm sitting here, let's just get started with the stream and have some random conversation before some racing. Okay, so we're working now. Right. See what we're going to do today. I guess you've got weekly races, haven't we? I'm not going to be around for the... it's a shame, because tomorrow's Nations Cup is something I'm much more comfortable with. Typically, I'm not around, so that's going to be that. And it's a grid start as well. Damn. That's a really good looking race for tomorrow. Everything's set there, just the way I like it as well. Let's have a little look at it. Let's see what the top stars are doing. So they're doing 123, 124. So that means we've got Super Formula cars. Damn. It's just the cars I like. Typically on a day when I'm not doing the racing. So there you have it. Right, well, Twitch isn't doing it for me. We've got SK here, ISK. Just doing a little bit of a GT and I'll do some other racing games as well. I haven't decided today. I just thought, you know what, let's just have a stream, maybe a race, maybe try some other games as well. Just wait and see, really. What racing games have been catching your eyes lately, guys? Tell me a bit about your racing fandom recently. Let's just see what we've got here. Okay, so it's going to be interesting on tyres, isn't it? 25 times tyre wear. Wow, what a good race it's going to be. What a shame we Power, viewers. Power. Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic news. I'm still going to call you Mr. 30. Mr. 30. Oh, there's quite a bit to learn here, isn't there, in corners like that. Well off the pace, obviously. You've got to really... Oh, that seemed to be a bit tight. There you go. Well, being very tight on the penalties there. So a lot to learn on courses like this, isn't there? You know, you change cars and it's a whole new beast. But this is the sort of car and track combination where I feel I could really learn it. I feel much more comfortable. I didn't like the Fuji the other night. Didn't like the Fuji at all. I don't like the track. I just don't like it. And there was some strange mysteries going on with this whole fuel thing, wasn't there? You know, I'm half a second to 1 second slower than the top guys at normal fuel, and I was 4.5 seconds a lap slower on fuel saving. So there's definitely something I'm missing there, isn't there? Let's just retry, because I thought we were going to get rid of the penalty earlier than that. Oh, wow. That's how not to do the final chicane. Yep, could see some time in Drive Club as well. Drive Club, such a great game. Once they put it all together. Lifted too much then. Lost a lot of time in that corner. Concentrating for a second just to see where these braking points are. So I lost a lot of time there. Off that lap and the next lap, because of course when you get that final quarter wrong you lose all of your time. So we've got a long way to go now to find the time. It's going to be tricky, but you know, you're losing a second on that final corner, and it's going to be interesting to see where the speed is. Done it again. Okay, so that is going to be quite mysterious, because people are doing 123s and I seem to be a long way off the pace. So let's just take a look at what everybody's doing. Absolutely, LC. I mean, that's what I should have done, really. I was told that, fuel saving apparently was quicker, and then I went into the race, and for me it was like 1 minute slower. Frankly, it was terrible. Crawling round on worn tyres with no grip and no power down the straight. It was a complete waste of time. But once you're committed to a strategy, well, it's all over, isn't it, basically? Adam says, do you think we'll see racing games with VR in the future become more popular? VR is the future of racing games, for sure. Once we get minimum 4K headsets. Anything lower than 4K, no. Right now, everyone goes on about VR because it's impressive, it is. But, in terms of resolution, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. So I vetted it. I did. I mean, we're just trying. Let's have a look at what these top players are doing, because maybe they're cheating or something. I don't know. Let's have a look, because I wasn't expecting to be, you know, I can do sort of a 127 maybe, you know, 126 even, but not a 123 or 4. Let's just have a look and see what's going on. So I think let's see where the time is. It could even just be little things like you're in the wrong gear and stuff like that. So let's have a look. And I don't know what's quicker, the Honda or the Toyota. Driving the Toyota here, but I was always better in the Honda, so I might go back to the Honda again. See how I get on. So yeah, VR is the future for sure. You'll see, you know, same with the F1 and the rally and everything. It's all going to be amazing when you see. It's just. So he's using a lot of runoff there. It's interesting. Fourth through there. Okay. So a lot of speed through that first couple of corners then. So you can use a lot of runoff in this car. It's interesting. Third through there, so I was in the wrong gear through there. Oh. Fourth. Fifth. So he managed that full power. So we'll try that. Second. Good tight on the inside. Final corner line is important. Second, straight over the big hump. Wow, okay. That's a tricky line to get right. That's a second there as well. Okay. Let's try it out then. Let's see how we get on. We're going to try the Honda now. We're going to try the Honda. Not that we're doing this at all at the weekend, but I wanted to try it out. Let's try the Honda. Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with VR at the moment is there's a very, very small amount of people that have got it. And you have to sort of consider to yourself, is it worth it for developers? You know, is it worth, you know, the investment? Would that investment be better making a new track, making more cars, rather than adding VR? For the small amount of people that appreciate VR and have VR, it's great. It's a very small amount of people at the moment. Oh, they make a lot of noise. I mean, there's all the VR no VR no buy people everywhere, but the reality is that in the scheme of things, you know, if you look at, no one cares about VR on the console formats, frankly. So it's straight over. All right then. Let's just have a look at this for a minute. Let's just have a look and just see. Absolutely full VR expected. Damn it, got that line wrong. Damn it. I don't know how to get over that bump. Don't know how to do that yet. So a lot to learn. A lot to learn there. Almost very little in the way of improvement thanks to those 2 sections. A long way off the pace, you know? A long way off the pace. That's not what I was expecting, honestly, in this car. No, it wouldn't have it. I tried to correct there and it just wasn't having it, was it? Couldn't get on the power any sooner. Oh, it's such a mystery to me, you know, why what people do to go so quick sometimes. Let's try again. Let's try again, viewers. So we've got Lemon here, we've got Jonathan, Adam. I like fuel saving. I think fuel saving adds a lot. Tyre wear. I just think the races are too short. That's the problem. You know, we've got 25 times tyre wear or something. You know, stupid like that. It's too much. Can't get it through that last corner properly, can I? You either go too slow on entry, or you let's get rid of the ghost for a minute. Yeah, it's difficult to say, isn't it? I'm just trying to find out where the speed is on this car at the moment. For me, I'm miles off the pace. This is very unusual for me to be so far off. That's the thing. I wouldn't normally expect to be this far off in these types of cars. I got that wrong. Completely wrong. Shame. You can see there's another second to get there, but I can't see myself getting into these 126s even, let alone 124s. I mean, I got that wrong. I can pull over for a minute. Yeah, it's a difficult one, Jeff. It's a difficult one. I did watch an Alien. It's true, I did watch an Alien, but to me, it's if you can see it, you can do it. You've got to be able to do it. So it's just trying to figure out techniques, really, and looking at the gearing and looking at the line. And I mean, a lot of these guys, you have to remember, they're on it for hours. I suppose if I just sat here and just said, right, I'm just going to do 50 laps of practice, it's possible that I might get into a rhythm and just work out a few of these corners. But it's just getting the braking points completely right. Some of these corners, like this one for example, are quite difficult because they're not quite flat. And I bet that happens a lot as well when you're doing these amazing laps. So we'll just retry there. Yeah, I won't be on, unfortunately, for the race tomorrow, guys. So I won't be running this race tomorrow. Sadly, this is a race that I would really enjoy, but because I haven't enjoyed the past couple, that I just don't like the tracks or the cars. And, you know, it's a real struggle when you're driving a car on a track you just don't like. This is much more my type of car and stuff, but I'm not around tomorrow, so it's a problem with these FIA races. You know, you've got to be around like every Saturday and Wednesday. I've got things to do, so just one of those things, guys. Oh, the wheel's coming off. Took the wheel off earlier to charge the LED display because it's battery powered, so front tyres hard, rear soft. I can have a go. I think they've got medium hard front, which is what I often use in the races, because especially in this race, because it will last a bit longer in the race for sure. Front tyres are going to fall off so quickly in this race with all the punishment they're going to get. That final corner is horrible. Do you know, I used to love the old final corner to this racetrack. I used to play it on F197 and stuff like that. But I've never liked this little horrible chicane. I've always felt it damaged the flow and the style of the racetrack. Yeah, I think just in terms of strategy on these races, I think the problem is at the moment a lot of these races are too short. That's my feeling. You know, 10, 11, 12 laps at most. It's not enough laps. It's just not enough laps. You need longer races with more subtle tyre wear, you know, more options in terms of how you drive them, because the races are so short that if you make a mistake and you go off, that's the end of it. But you know, if there's more laps, you've got more chance to close a gap or whatever. You know, it's like now it's just one mistake and it's over basically, you know. And that's the problem. So this is going to be a high speed race, you know. This is going to be the race where lots of people are going to make mistakes, because you've got that kind of power coming in from the car, and as your tyres wear, that's going to get ever more sudden in terms of its I went wide there because I went over the curb. This final corner, I just don't like it. Anyway, we're not going to do any amazing laps at the moment, are we? We're just going to race around. And we got a hello there from a Japanese gamer. Hello, Japan. And we've got King Jeff here as well. Good to see you. James checking in, and I'm not racing tomorrow, but I'm just sort of trying to learn the circuit. But it's going to be quite tricky. It's very hard to be quick every lap. Oh, got that completely wrong. But I did do a good first sector, didn't I, until I messed it up, so. So, not great. I don't know how the aliens really are on another level for me on this track. I'm not zoned into them yet at all. They are very quick. catch up with the chat in 2 seconds. I'm just trying to see if I made a mistake. That was it. Trying to push there, and as soon as that inside wheel gets on the curb, you lose it. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, the whole timing system now. You know, they used to do a race at 5 p.m, which would have been ideal. So it's one of those things, really. But yeah, not much luck for me on the race the other day. But as I say, as soon as there's a race I like, I'm not here, am I? But yeah, the last 2 races, I don't like Fuji. It didn't work for me. And Jev, I watched your race, and what did you end up, like 5th or something in the end after the pit stop? And then you raced in a higher lobby, and the lap times were way slower than the lap times of the lobby I had. I was like, damn, look at that. What's going on? Getting no luck with the quality of drivers I'm being matched up against. Racing all these like super quality but dirty drivers. I have noticed lately there's a lot more bumping around in the FIA races. You know, they used to be quite clean, but I am noticing that they're I got that wrong, didn't I? Turned in too early. Got to be braver there and turn in later. I just can't stand that final chicane. I just don't like it. It hurts me physically painful going through that chicane. So it just, hold on a minute, let's just bring up the chat here so I can see it all here. Hold on. Oh well, forget it, let's just have a look at the chat. Yeah, I've noticed that, Jeff. It's getting a lot more bumping. I mean, turn 1, I got bumped out of the way by so many cars the other day that didn't get penalties. That's a strange thing. They just weren't getting penalties. So yeah, it's not quite Forza levels. No, I don't think it'll ever be that level. But you know, it's one of those things. And just reading the chat at the moment. So Jonathan was saying earlier about the tyre wear. Yeah, like I said, longer races is what this game needs. It needs 25 lap races. That would really work well on a car like this. With you can have a 1-stop or 2-stop strategy. You know, it's that or no stop. You know, and if they made it available that you could use hard, mediums, or soft tyres, then you could choose strategies that suit you. Go for what suits you in that way. Fuel adds a lot to racing anyway. The weight of the car, the approach you have to the race, it adds something. So I always like a bit of fuel usage. If we were to do 25% races, they could then give you the option of how much do you want to fuel your car at the start of the race. That would be quite interesting as well, because then you could say, right, which percentage, and you just run the slider on your fuel, and it will tell you how many laps and what percentage race distance that will give you. So you can say, right, I'm going to underfuel my car at the start because I know I'm near the front and I'm on soft tyres. I'm going to go like a bullet but have an early pit stop. You know, something like that. Or somebody might just go fill their car up completely, and then that way when it comes to the pits, they'll have a shorter pit stop if they're just going for tyres, or they don't need to stop at all. You know, add so many more options when you do all that to fuel options and tyre options and stuff like that, you know. Defensive Driving Academy, well, it has been recently, hasn't it? It's been a tough one. That's right, yeah, that's it, Jeff. There's only been one way, hasn't there? And that is normally the problem. So there's a couple of problems with GT Sport, and that is one of them. When you're running worn tyres, so if you're going long and you're not pitting, on those last few laps, you're braking earlier, and every time somebody comes up to you, the system records that you're braking earlier than you were, therefore you must be brake testing, therefore you get a sportsmanship down. And if anyone crashes into you because you're slow through an apex, you get a sportsmanship down. So the penalty system isn't taking into account strategy and tyre wear, and that's a really critical thing that they need to sort out, because it's like, for me, whenever I've done long strategies, I've been getting really bad penalties affecting me all the time, and that's simply down to the penalty system just not recognising what my setup is on the car, which is rubbish. So they do need to sort that out. I love the penalty system, but they just need to sort out some of the logic in terms of how it works. I do actually. I was going to have a look at one actually, just on the stream. I've got it running here on the PC. We can check that out in a minute. Bit of grip, why not? They've added these floaty cars. I don't know how to unlock the floaty cars. It's got a nice smooth transition there, isn't it? I do like the OBS transmission. I might do a race in a bit. I was just seeing what this was like. I think the good news is I'm not remotely competitive, am I? That's actually good news. I was expecting to be quite competitive on this, and you know, I'm not. We're going to have a go again. Let's do this, viewers. Let's do this. See if we can increase some speed. Oh, and I broke too early. Damn, I broke too late. Too much of a lift. Way too much of a lift. It just wouldn't let me get on the power, would it? It just said no to me then. So, a couple of big mistakes in that lap, but you know, 4 seconds behind like the best in the world. It's like, damn. Lost half a second on that final corner. Thank you, Jeff. I'll do the same. I enjoy your streams. I'll whack you on there. Goodness me. It's, you know what, it's I know it sounds silly, but sometimes when I'm doing this testing, I see the blue text that means I'm ahead, and I get a little bit tense. And I just think, I'm beating my time. Come on, just take it sensibly. But there's nothing you can do. You have to every single corner is going to be... I've got to tell you, qualies in this is going to be tough. Because if you haven't done some serious practice... Come on, we're up. And I took it really easy through that final corner then as well. Did a little lift. So at least we've got up to the 126s, and we know now that we can do a 125. So that's something. So that's alright. That's good experience there, viewers. That's good experience. Just in case drama happens. After this, I'll have a look at your chat. I just don't know how those guys do it. You know, they ride that curb perfectly. I just can't seem to ride those curbs. Oh look, we're ahead. We're ahead. Oh well. I think honestly, if I was racing this like tomorrow, I'd be quite satisfied with a 126, honestly. But that's just me. I think if you're doing a low 126, you're going to be somewhere up there. I'm going to have a little break and read some of your chat. So I'm just saying, how many seconds do you think on average you gain with wheel and gears? I don't think the wheel. I think the wheel is difficult to say, because I've seen a lot of controller players who are just as quick. Jeff is one of them, who is just as quick, if not quicker, with the controller in many respects. So I think there's definitely something to be said for controller play. As for the gears help with general speed control. So it's not too bad. I mean, automatic gears will get you a long way. You know, if I was to do this with automatic gears, it wouldn't change my lap times that much, I don't think. Well, we can try it actually. We can just, while we're mucking about here, let's just have a look at see for experiment what it's like with the automatic gears. It's not there, is it? It's in there. Okay, so let's just have a look for a moment. We'll just see what it's like with a gear without gears. It's a bit strange for me to suddenly not be using gears. It feels like I'm in sort of less in control. Oh, do you see how I'm doing it without even thinking? Got to stop touching the gears. But if you were just saying, right, I'm just going to try at home, I'm just going to try without gears, and can I be competitive? Got that wrong. I got that wrong. That was my mistake. My mistake there. Now, yes, what caught me out there was, because I'm not used to the progressive acceleration, slightly different. So you're controlling when you change gear, which alters the wheel spin in the corner a bit, and that's just something which might be easier with some traction control on automatic, because it was shifting into a lower gear than I'm used to, which was causing extra wheel spin. But practice with the wheel, you'll notice there that I wasn't far off of my standard. Well, completely got that wrong. I wasn't far off my standard pace, but it shifts you into a lower gear when you least expect it. And when traction control is turned off, you'll find that I wasn't quite ready there, but you'll find that you're already sort of on the back foot, as it were. Let's try again. So we're just accelerating slightly slower now to counter for the gear change there, because it's going a gear lower. And we're just going to counter for it here as well. Remember, traction control is off, so I oversteered a bit there. Now, do you see, I got a lot of wheel spin. I would probably have shifted up with that much wheel spin normally, but you're not doing that here, so got that completely wrong. That's my fault. It's practice. I mean, it really is down to just lots and lots of practice. We still did a 128, and you saw that we were making mistakes. So I think automatic gears is fine. You know, if you're racing with automatic gears and you want to get into Gran Turismo, do it. Let's just put traction control on to 2 for a second. Okay, so let's just say we're doing traction control on, and you're thinking, I can't do it without assists, so I'd like some of that. I think there is this stigma in sim racing terms that you should never use various assists, and it's nonsense. You know, you use what you need to help you get the most out of your driving setup. You know, and that's how you've got to drive. You know, so with traction control, you're stamping on the power more, so I'm more aggressive on the power. Turned in too early, but got away with it there to lift a little bit. And it's much more balanced, you see, when you're using traction control, because you're not completely on the limit all the time. I got that wrong. Struggling with that final corner. I'll probably have to find a race strategy through it, because going over it doesn't seem to be working for me. So practice. But if you're like sort of, you know, B, C, D level, you know, we've even with lap times like this, you'll be able to compete. You should be competitive. You know, it's only when you get to sort of A, S, and A plus that you end up with a room full of badasses. Everybody's really quick, and hardly anyone makes a mistake. So, and then if you get into the full room of A pluses and the top boys, well, then obviously they're all aliens and they understand the game on a different level to the rest of us. So hit it too hard again. I was trying to go round it that time, but it didn't quite work out. I'm better than my last lap though. So you can see there's an improvement, and that's with traction control on and automatic gears. So let's get back now to racing it normally, but I hope that gives you a bit of an indication that in actual fact you should be able to do comparable lap times when you learn it with automatic or manual. It's the same with the different wheels and pedals. You know, it's a feel. It's more comfortable to play with, but it won't change lap time. If you were doing a Logitech G20, whatever it is, 29 or something, you'd be just as quick. And I'll just have a little break for a minute and I'll just look at some of your comments. So let's just that out. Okay. So traction 1 and 2 depending on the car and auto for you. Right, great Adam. Yeah, no, there's no setup, Jeff. Yeah, there's no setup on these cars, Jeff. So, and I think when it comes to setups in general, I think I'm glad they don't have setups, because those people who know people who are good at tuning will always win. They'll always have a better car. Whereas at least when it's spec racing, you've all got similar. It's all about the driving. Because some people know people who are really good at tuning. So what will happen is that your esport teams will just get given better cars, basically. It'd be an unfair advantage. Let's see, what else we got here? Mooch was saying earlier about arcade racing games. Yeah, and I was just saying that, we do need a few more arcade racing games. It is pretty quiet on the arcade racing front, for sure. I feel so tired today, goodness. I feel so tired. And so off topic, will I be covering Crash Team Racing? From Jonathan. Yes, I think I will be. Hoping to play it soon. And hopefully one day we'll have some Formula One as well, which would be nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm always up for open lobbies. James will have to let me know when they're happening. So I've got to organise my own open lobbies at some point. It's something I'm going to sort out for sure. What else have we got here, comments wise? A couple of comments. Right. So Solomon was saying earlier, I didn't see this on Twitch, that when your target's worn out, it's harder on a controller as well. Yeah, a couple of you guys saying that. It is challenging then. Are you doing any races? I might have a look. Shall I have a look? See what the races are. I'll have a look. If I can't get a good qualifying time, it's not worth it, because I don't want to start like 18th on the grid in every single race. But we'll take a look. Let's have a look, shall we? So I think that was quite interesting in the Super Formula. Oh, goodness me. Big yawns. Oh, I've actually got a nice car for a change. Wow. It's like the first time I've got a car I think that I haven't actually bought. Amazing. Actually getting generous now at Polyphony with these cars. Right. And I'll have to remember to change back to manual. Let's just jump in and do some testing. I just want to see what this car was like. I'll just see. I mean, it's 2 minutes until the race, so I don't think I'll have time to load in, get used to it again. It's funny because I raced this track a few days ago on a stream, and I thought I'll do some racing, but you know, I forget, if you're not playing it every day, you just forget the tracks and the cars. You know, you lose that second a lap, and that's vital. Oh goodness. Right, let's just see where this car is in terms of oh, it's a nice time to give you control, isn't it, on a corner. It's like, boom, here we go, off you go, off the track. Understeer City through there, wasn't it? Understeer City. Okay, so this car handles very differently to the one we were driving the other day, the Toyota. What's that? Let's have a look there. Tried ABS from default week, and I'm just as fast. Anyone tried it? Well, I think that's all anyone uses is default ABS, as far as I'm aware. Oh, it's in weak setup on it. I just use standard. I tried like various different settings with ABS and just found the standard settings work for me in terms of braking, but I'm not the latest braker in the world though. I find braking late to be quite risky. That's not to say a lot of people don't do it, but it's risky. That's why you get so much in the way of dive bombing. So this car is massive understeer, sorry, compared to the Toyota. Let's get out of that then. Let's get out of that. Change cars. Shame there was only 2 minutes to the race, because otherwise I'd have done a race, but there's just no point. I'll end up at the back and back of the grid. Right, so next race is in 15 minutes. I think this car handles a lot better. Oh, yours. Goodness me. Well, I might have to get a coffee or something in a minute, guys. Just to keep me awake. I feel so tired. Hold on. Let's see see what we can see. See if we can sort that. Goodness me, I am so tired. Right. Maybe I'll play something else, I don't know. Wait and see. Let's just see these car settings for a minute. So we're set up here. And we've got traction control set to 2 on this car. Okay, so again I just need to relax, get zen. My lap time is 7/10 slower in this direction than it was with the Ford in the other direction. Okay, it is just very different to the Super Formula car I've just been driving. Maybe that's just it. Just shows, doesn't it? You know, when you get out of Super Formula straight into what a performance car that is, you know. So fast. Oh. Super GT. Is that a 2 minutes 14.8? Oh yeah, I couldn't race Steve. I mean, he's another level of alien, frankly, now. When it comes to his racing, amazing skill. I had all this down the other day, you know, and then you come back here and you've just completely forgotten it. is a nice course, actually. I mean, it is a nice course. I mean, it'd be great if we could get more sort of classic Gran Turismo courses back in the game. It would give it a bit more Gran Turismo flair. I knew what I was doing there. I was just seeing how much the tyres would grip. It's funny, but you get to this stage of the week and everybody's been playing this track all week, and I'm like, you know, everybody's really good, and I'm going to be sort of at the back knocking around. It's so challenging, you know. Braking too late. So I've missed a few braking points, but just a matter of trying to So it's got a way to go, haven't we? We're still sort of a second off of where we were. I just need to try and find that pace again before doing a race. My qualifying time's not good enough anyway. I mean, I really need like a 2 minutes 16 really to make it worth doing. That's one of the reasons why I don't do more races. Whenever you're coming on here now, it's practice. Just trying to get good enough just to set a time that doesn't mean I'm back of the grid, basically. Not found the braking point there at all, have I? So we're losing a lot of our time on that corner, actually. No, I was trying something there just to launch myself into the corner. Oh. I'll have a go. I'll have a go at a race, but if it places me anywhere below 12th, then there's no point in doing any more races. That's the problem. It's just pointless, isn't it? Because then all you're going to be doing is struggling for 9th place at best, and you just can't get. You're going to get bashed off by some midfield idiot, and that's no fun, is it? It's funny, when I first played this, the lower classes seem to have much better racing than the higher class cars. classes in that sense. You know, it's how many points do you need for rating now? Well, I'm on an A rating. I've been on an A rating for months. I got to 40k, 42k maybe, or something, 41, I don't know. And then I've fallen back down to 37 now after some bad races the other day. The strategy race really affected me badly. What I need to do is, when they do a week where there's a race I'm good at and I like, I just got to keep doing that just to get my rank up, basically. But it's all about maximising it when you have a race you like. So, Cole, it's going to take a while for me to get to the A+, you know, unless, like I say, unless you practice all the time. It is just so difficult trying to get anywhere. Anyway, slight improvement on time, but we're still not where we should be. Plenty of mistakes. Wow, first gear made a big difference there. Oh, maybe first gear will work down here as well. Oh, it does. Wow, okay. I was in the wrong gear. That is interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. All that practice in the wrong gear. No, I was off track there. Come on, get us into the 217s. Oh, it's better. It's better. We're not up there with the top boys, though, are we? Nowhere near them. So lower gears are working better for us. It's interesting. And a bit of time here as well if we can keep it together. And we got that completely wrong. Lost another couple of tenths there, just going in too deep into the corner. No. Oh well. So hard keeping up with those top guys, isn't it? You know, trying to find those times. Let's have a little break for a minute. All right. So what's up? Catch first practice in Spain. Philip was asking earlier. I haven't watched it yet. I do have it, but I know the results, at least of the first practice in particular. But I know who won both practice sessions, and I saw Lance Stroll having his stroll into the bushes, so that's something. Yeah, so best time was a 5:29 average time. Doesn't show you what potential best is though, does it? Oh, is that 2:16? 2:16. So we're a long way off the top players, aren't we? I mean, goodness me, there's a lot to discover on a course like this. You know, there's a lot to discover in this. Cole was saying earlier, most of my time is practice. Absolutely. I mean, what can I say? The amount of time involved in practice on this is unbelievable. Let's look at the qualifying rankings for a second. And we will try and... I mean, obviously Super GT, look at him with his ridiculous 2 minutes 14. It's just ridiculous. Let's look at this best guy in the world then. Let's just see what he's... No, let's look at Dave Perel. That's 13.8. No, let's look at the 13.8 because that's just ridiculous, isn't it? They're all aliens. I mean, what can I say? Has anyone got super into photography? I'm sure some people have. I mean, I think in terms of Photoshop and what you can do with photos, you can learn a lot about photographing cars, you know, from photographing them in games. I mean, I did for sort of filming them in real life. I learned a lot from photo mode, for sure. Lemon was saying earlier, 2 minutes is a long lap. It is. Do you use? Saying earlier about turning off traction control. You're right. It's just that unfortunately at the moment with the time I have learning wise, I just don't have the time to learn it basically. Let's back up. Second. Okay, so I was a gear too high initially. And these guys aren't using traction at all. So, cutting the grass there. That's interesting lawnmower technique. And they allowed you to do it. That's so inconsistent. I just don't understand the penalty stuff in this sometimes. Wow, that is some skill around that corner. Ice skating around the corner. On the power then. Down the hill. On the brakes, just past the cones. Down into second gear. No touching the first, kept it in second. A little bit of power on the inside, then launching it after the bump. Very nice. Car struggles for grip there, doesn't it? Up through the gears. Now we're going to go up to fifth gear. Use a bit. That's what I was trying to do earlier when I put a wheel off. Fourth. Keeping it tight to the inside. Really getting on the power early, using all the track. Unlocking steering on the exit. Using the curb. A little bit of curb. A little bit of curb. Perfect through there. Perfect. That's about as good as you can do it. Braking a bit earlier. Second. Gently on the power. Look at that. And then I'm stamping on the throttle on the exit. First through there. That's interesting. So I was in the wrong gear there as well. Now we've got fifth down to fourth quite early, keeping it tight to the inside. Up into fifth very early. It's interesting. Maybe the torque of the engine helping to pull the car uphill. Flat. Does he lift? Flat. Oh no, a bit of a lift there. Fourth. Quickly into fourth. Tightening the car to the inside. Then on the power, using all the exit. Oh, what a lap. What a lap. These guys, I tell you, these guys are all just so quick, aren't they? So quick. Oh, I just don't know how they do it. Blimey, guys. Blimey. And the problem is, you know, you try and copy that, and it's like, oh, it's easy. It's not easy. These guys are so good. Let's try again. I'm just going to turn off traction control for a minute. I know it's going to be challenging to drive, but I just want to see if I can, you know, have a go at it. If so, then I'll have a go at the race anyway. Even though I feel tired, I'm going to have a go at the race. No, I might do another racing game after that. Viewers, something else, something a bit more arcadey. I don't know. Probably everyone will switch off, but we're going to check out a couple of PC games as well. Let's try it out. I'm probably expecting me to spin out quite a bit here because I'm not used to driving this car without traction, so I'll need a minute to adjust to the progressive. He was sliding the car a lot as well, and that's tricky to do in this type of car in a grippy way. Right. See, that just shows you, you know, you clip the curb there wrongly and it's going to send the car completely off. Right, let's try again. Oh, it's not a cut. I mean, I understand what they're doing. I mean, it's just, it does seem strange sometimes on some corners. Like some apexes, they are so strict, and others they're right. It's alright, we're just going to continue. We're just going to continue because that'll happen over and over until I figure it out. Which I won't, but I don't know how to get the car in there on the right bit. And they're so precise, aren't they? So he slid the car through there. He slid the car through that. That's going to be... can we... Oh, that's going to be tricky. Oh, we can do this without spinning out. The reason why I'm spinning out is because I'm trying to do... If you listen to what he was doing, he's progressive and then he stamped on the throttle. But he slid around that corner. And I'm like... So this was like a small amount of throttle. Now I went up to fifth. Using a little bit of curb on the exit. And then he went quickly down to fourth, didn't he? And he was, I think, practically oh, I got that wrong. Second. That's what I need. I'm really tired today. I might have a little break just for a few minutes, just for a talky minute, just while I wake up a bit. Just, have a cup of tea and wake up. So then he was tight in here, and he was quickly shifting up on the exit. You just try and remember what these people did, but it's very difficult when you're on traction control, isn't it? Okay, so it's learnable. It's learnable, viewers. We just need to just do take it easy, I think. I wasn't quite over the bump at that time, was I? I felt it going. There's nothing you can do when it goes there. It's just too early on the power. So much learning. So much learning. But it's what we do. This is all the practice. All the practice in the world. So that's what I need. I need a tea. I need a tea. I'm going to chill out and have a tea, wake up a bit, and then after that I'm going to be ready to get it on. We've got the speed. It's just putting a lap together, really. It's so if we can put a lap together now. No, curbing did it again. Curbing did it again. I don't know how you do it. It's frustration now. I don't know how you get across the curb without sliding the car. Let's try again. Honestly, practice can be so painful sometimes, you know. It's good when you feel good, but when you're trying to learn something like this, it can be. It's a bit like that last chicane on the Barcelona track, you know. It's just he swept right across the grass there. No. So I just think we're gonna. What time frame do you think we're going to see next Gran Turismo? Well, I would say they're flat out working on the next Gran Turismo now. You know, a lot of the work that you're seeing here on Gran Turismo Sport has been done last year. All the tracks have been made. Any tracks that you see coming out this year have all been pretty much will all have been finalised. They're all made a year or two ago. They're just being slow in terms of how they're putting it out there, drip feeding it to everybody just to make it seem fresh. But the reality is that I'll have to avoid that curb. But the reality is that potentially they should be ready. I think they've got to be angling for some kind of launch update where it's, you know, whether Gran Turismo Sport launches on the PS5 or whether they launch a Gran Turismo, something new like Gran Turismo Evolution or something, where it's sort of a new version of, completely new version. I'm finding completely the opposite, FT. The more curb I'm taking, the more I'm destabilized by curbs. So it's a bit of an odd one. It's so challenging, isn't it? Trying to, it's not about, it's like I say to you guys, yeah, going round and round. If you want to just, if we were in a race right now and had to do this with traction off, we could do a race. It's just that I'm trying to stamp on the throttle more out of corners to get out of corners quicker, because I can't feel very well where that limit is. You know, I'm not, and that's not the game's fault. It's just I'm not picking up on whatever the key is for you have full grip to go full beans. Alright, so we're on a better lap then, just by virtue of the fact that we haven't gone off. You know, I was on like 1/4 power then, so it's amazing it still spins out there. That's the... Right, we're just going to go back to traction on, I think, because by the time, I mean, let's not say you can't learn it, it's just don't really feel like doing 50 laps trying to do that, you know. Ironically, that may have been not a bad lap had I not had the penalty. But of course, not only does it ruin that lap, it ruins the lap afterwards as well. Completely wrong, completely wide. All the time you lose on that one corner when you just go in a bit wide. Amazing. Just a good little experiment, if nothing else. So it shows how much time we had to gain just getting those two corners correct. We're not far off, are we? Amazing. Even despite those two big errors. Very challenging corner there. You take risks and you're all over the place. So a bit of lap here. Might be on a bit of lap. Messed up the final corner though. Well, at least we got to the 2/16ths. Despite messing up the final corner. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough, guys. It's tough. Ah, right. I am gonna take a break for a minute. Take a break. It's there's only so much practice and struggling you can do to try and improve your lap times. Right, let's just chill out for a minute. Have a bit of replay on in the background for you guys, just to keep you guys company. And okay, a little break for a minute. Oh, right, okay, so Matt's off now. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for tuning in. And I am just having a little relax now. I think that was oh, brilliant Progref. Thank you. No, basically I've had an upgrade to my web connection, so can now do 1080p, and with the power of my PC, with the power of my PC now, I've found that I can improve the stream quality. So, you know, whenever you're running streaming, you're looking at settings that can improve the stream. And Matt, time for a break. It is time. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate that. It's time for a break. Do you know, the funny thing is, when I come on here for these streams, sometimes I'm driving for 4 to 5 hours, and people don't realise. They're like, "Oh, why aren't you as good now as you were when you started the stream?" And you know, when you've driven like 150 laps, it gets tiring. It's all right for Super GT. You know, he's young. He's got energy. You know, he can do 50 laps of the Nordschleife. good on him, I would have done that as well a few years ago, but not today. Not today. Oh. So thank you very much for that, Matt. I'm gonna celebrate that with a nice cup of tea. So we're into the 2:16 now. I hope that's sort of enough for me to not end up like back of the grid, basically. The problem is, like I've said to you guys, if you're in like B, C, D, E, whatever lobbies, you put in a 2:16, you'll be in pole position, every time. But as soon as you get to sort of the A+, A and S rank, there's aliens in your lobby. Like the top 5 guys are aliens, so getting anywhere higher than 7th place is always very difficult in the actual qualifying. And then you end up being sort of in the midfield, which means that you get to turn 1, there's always going to be a crasher. I think that's right, Matt. The reality is that I often say this, I don't have the time to practice. I come on here sort of like practicing live, in front of you guys. It's not like I'm practicing and then I come on. I just do it in front of you guys now. And sometimes you pick up a course really quickly. Sometimes there's a lot of spin outs and, you're trying to figure out how quick you can go. And it's like I say to people, you see me spinning out and I say, oh, actually I can do it without spinning. And some people go, yeah, but you can. I mean, going without spinning is not that difficult, but going fast, that's what this is all about. It's about, no grip, and it's that second of staying on the power, like there, and just getting that grip and just bam, being on the power the second that grip hits. And that's the difference between the top players, is they're moving their car to the right places. I mean, I watched Top Lap and I'm not even in that league. These guys are so good, these top players on Gran Turismo, they really are. That's not to say they don't make mistakes in races though. Quite often I do better in racing. Having said that, the last 2 weeks I've had the worst results in the races I've ever had in my FIAs ever. And like yesterday was one of them, when I was doing the was it yesterday? Sorry, Wednesday. When I was testing fuel and I should have just gone normal and I'd have easily finished top 5, and instead ruined my chances and ended up 15th when I was running comfortable 7th. So I would have been easily top 5 in that race, which was very frustrating at the time. I remember thinking, I never expected to drop back like that. I think I should have realised earlier on, but it's very difficult to say because you have to let guys past and then somebody bashes into you and sends you off the track, and it's challenging. It's challenging. So yeah, I mean, so I know I'm talking about it a lot, but it's really difficult for me to get everything organised and plan out my streaming. But I am planning out my streaming and what times I'm going to stream as well. We're just waiting for a few. When I say we, I'm talking about me and Kevin. Is just waiting for some access to certain games, so we know what games we're playing when later this year. Because obviously, to a lot of people now, they're playing Gran Turismo. But for me, what I have to plan out is what am I going to be playing? When's Formula One coming out? How much time am I going to spend on that? How much time am I going to spend on other racing games, WRC, so on? So I have to prepare all that, and also when are we going to be seeing early content? So we've got games coming soon. What have we got coming soon? Well, we've got WRC coming soon. So it'd be great to see that again. We've got the Euro Truck Racing, which looks great. Like you say, looking forward to showing you some of that. We've got this overpass game. Looks interesting coming. Isle of Man TT on the Switch, Redout on the Switch. We've got Sonic Team Racing coming. I mean, there's some good games coming to racing games, in the racing genre. And, MotoGP, I don't know if we'll get all these games, but, as ever, you never know. Busy times, though, for racing gamers. So many good racing games out there now. I mean, so pushing harder and harder in these laps, like you say, learning all the time, and there's still, like you say, always more to find. It's just bit by bit, you know, those top guys are just using every ounce of the track. And you think, you know, I swear I'm not that much difference, you know, I swear I'm on the racing line and doing it, but they're just going a bit quicker, 10 mile an hour quicker here, 5 mile an hour quicker there, 2 mile an hour quicker, and that adds up at the end of the lap to like a second or two at the end. But Super GT's lap was, Steve's putting a very good lap there, no doubt about it, rolling, absolutely, Jeff. Quick laps. WRC needs me to get some Dirt 2 in my life. Well, I think the next game that we're going to be putting a lot of time into is WRC, and I'm waiting till we can get some hands on that. I'm ready to go. I've got my wheel set up, and I'm ready to play a bit of WRC 8. So you know, Samuel was saying something on Facebook earlier. He wasn't happy about something, but oh, that might have been the cut there on the grass or something. So we'll see. And let's just run that again just to give me a bit of a break for a minute, so you guys have something to look at. You're not just bored listening to me. Oh, there's a lot coming, Matt. You know, there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, even the Formula One content I'm going to talk about that over the next couple of days. Got a video coming up looking at all the content of Formula One so far, looking at what's great, what still needs work, and just thoughts and aspirations for the title, really. Like I said, I haven't played it, wasn't invited to see it, sadly. That was a bit disappointing. I was really looking forward to seeing F1, but you know, it is what it is. So I look forward to when Codemasters give us a hands-on, and then I can play it and give you my thoughts on Formula One this year. I mean, I'm always very clear on what I think of Formula One generally. I mean, we've had a bit of trouble getting access to it over the last couple of years, and the way things work here at VVV is, if we don't get any kind of preview content on a game, it means we don't get a following, which means I generally just give up on that covering that game until next year. It's just the way it is, really. No point trying to cover a game when roadblocks are being put in your way of covering it. You'd say, do you know what? Forget it then. I won't bother, and I'll move on to. I'll play Gran Turismo instead. And that's kind of where Gran Turismo's come in. Is that I wasn't meant to be playing Gran Turismo all the time. It's just that various things have happened over the past 6 months where we had other games ready to go, and access was pulled or stuff like that, and suddenly you're like, oh well, just play Gran Turismo instead then, you know. So that changes everything there. You can see there, you know, trying to catch the rear end, but as soon as that rear end goes and then grips again, it just sends you off the track basically. So it's tricky. It's tricky. But yeah, some good content coming. Good content. I look forward to being able to show some of you guys some of this content for sure. So yeah, glad the frame rate is good tonight. You know, the as ever, we're always improving the stream. And turn on the old light for the wheel there. Turn that on for the wheel. Gives me a bit of colour. You see, that's the colour light. See, it gives you. You see with the cardboard. Look at that, ghetto. Absolutely. It's a nice. It's a lamp, but it's also a headphone holder. But it creates a nice little glow for your steering wheel. There you go, with paper and cardboard. Professional stuff, viewers. Professional. I've got to play a bit more retro gaming at some point. And do let me know if you're watching now. Do you want to see other racing games? You know, like for example, I was sitting here and I was thinking I might play some grip. I might play some other racing games as well this evening. Is everybody just going to switch off when I do that? Would you rather not see anything but Gran Turismo? You know, do let me know, because the last thing I want to do is switch on another game and then everybody says, oh, I'm not interested, and tune out. But what happens is nobody says anything, you see. When people don't like something on a stream, they just switch off, but they don't say, oh, I really like this, or I don't like that, or you know, it's you just sort of left to wonder, I wonder if nobody liked that game tonight, or I wonder why this stream did well and that stream didn't do well, you know. So do let me know regarding the stream quality. That's something we're still sort of working with right now. I've got a 6 gig upload speed on this video stream that you're seeing now, but my stream could be capable of doing between 8 and 12 gig video upload. 10 and 12 gig video upload. But we don't know what problems that's going to cause with Twitter or the restream. So what it does, but in the short term, I think the 6 gig upload is working well. I've not done my hair. Look, it's in a total mess because it's white now. If I haven't done my hair, looks a bit all over the place. Oh, whatever. You get what you get, viewers. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Per. I appreciate that, and yeah, just let me know. I like, because what I want to do is I want to still do Gran. So let's talk about let's talk about. Let's see. Just mentioning 66k subs. Yeah, we've been on 66k subs now for a year. We've had no subscribers for a year on the channel, none, which is a bit of a shame. We get them and people leave and join, so we never get any growth. We've had no subscribers almost in 2 years. We've not had any subscribers on the channel, which is crazy. But it's all to do with how YouTube decides to advertise your channel to people. So, yeah, thanks, Matt. Yeah, well, I mean, basically, I like to show off the new games as well, and there hasn't been much new stuff to look at lately, but I'm just a fan of gaming, of gaming in general. And at some point, I do want to do some more just gaming stuff. If anyone's seen my collection, it's quite considerable. Love my games. I love all that stuff. So I don't know if I got a picture here. Don't think I do actually. See what we got. What do we got, viewers? Let's have a look. Let's see. Do I adequately do? I don't do advertising in that way, no, because I've never felt. I don't feel that actually makes a big difference, believe it or not. The way YouTube works is YouTube decides if it wants to show your channel to people or not. And for some reason, YouTube have decided they don't want to show my channel. So if you typed in WRC8, we're the only channel in the world with WRC8 content, and yet only one of our videos comes up on WRC8. Our main exclusive video, part 2, doesn't even come up near the top. And sometimes when you type in our name, it comes up with other YouTubers instead. And when you type in Team VVV Games, it doesn't come up with the channel at all. It comes up with Did You Mean Team Games? And it just won't come up with the channel. So we don't have much luck with YouTube, and that's partially why I'm kind of considering dropping the whole YouTube thing and doing streaming instead on Twitch or something. But it's something just a consideration, really. I think that's something that don't know if we have old pictures. I think old pictures. Do. See if we got any. No, we haven't. Got anything handy? I'm so tired. I feel like I just feel shattered today. Don't know why. Well, it's all changed, Matt. It's all changed because it's all to do with algorithms now. And it's complicated. YouTube. It chooses if it wants to promote you or not in that way. And unfortunately, we're not on the promote list. I don't know whether I'm too old or my age, my demographic is too old or something like that, but it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, well, that's the thing that you mentioned there, teasing titles. That's something I don't do. I don't know why, but I've never liked to see myself as a kind of clicky baity person, and a lot of people do. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's something Super GT is great at. Is he does like every thumbnail has like a amazing race instant or something. It will say something on there and that makes you want to look at it. And whereas I just do Gran Turismo, I'm gaming. I don't do anything on there that that engages people in that way, because that just doesn't come naturally to me. I find, you can't do everything in that way. You can't be doing everything, and I think that's some people are just really good at it. I mean, dare I say, maybe it's just the younger mind. You've grown up with it slightly differently. Twitch mobile app is not good. It's not as good. It's all right, actually. It's all right. It's all right. It's I didn't like the way, like, you had the chat on the side, but there is a button to remove that. I know it sounds stupid, but it took me ages to find that button to remove the chat. I'm like, why is there chat on the side when I rotate the phone? I don't like that. And it's just one of those things. So yeah, there's that. Let's just see what else we got here. Anything of interest here? I haven't. No, I don't actually have pictures of it now. Just looking for the old games collection. But I did do a room tour on a video. Yeah, I did do a room tour on a video a few years ago. Yeah, I can't find it now. Doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter too much. Millions of photos on there. Goodness me. So there you have it. Right, Lemon was just saying earlier, you should totally only stream. I never watch YouTube videos. They are boring. You know what? It's funny, but I am looking at YouTube videos differently to how I did look at them a few years ago. I actually like watching streams now. Now, I was always a video guy, but recently, I've got into the streaming and started watching streams, and it's nice the way you can interact with a streamer. Do you know what I mean? It's so different. I kind of wished I'd been streaming 5 or 6 years ago when my channel was much more popular, because I think the streams would have been great for us. They would have been great, but I haven't. I mean, we got grip here, and I was thinking, we could show some grip. The problem is I don't know how to unlock the hover car things that are on there at the moment. They've got the new hover cars looking cool, and I've never tried grip with a steering wheel, so maybe we could experiment a bit of that from it. That cool new space track looks interesting. That's a cool new looking space track, isn't it? Very nice. I guess you've got to do the campaign to unlock it. So that's the thing there. I just feel so tired. Goodness. I'm trying to wake up because I really wanted to try and do a race if I can. Oh. Hi Rob. No, I don't have Nigel Mansell's F1 game. It's one of those games that at the time, games were so expensive in the 90s, and it's just one of those that they dated very quickly, that type of genre. They're more collectible now than they were then in many ways. But the one thing about Nigel Mansell was it had very impressive graphics at the time, very smooth. It used the Mode 7 track, had very smooth scaling, very impressive. I remember really wanting it at the time and being unable to afford it, because I could only get 4 games a year. that's what people forget. In the early 90s and late 80s, in the 80s, you get 2 games a year unless you get the 199 games from Woolworths. Right. Oh, really? Yeah. No. It's funny. I can't. Where it comes to grip here, I mean, I have a look at grip for a minute, shall we? Um, just for a second, and then we'll go back to Gran Turismo, which is still running in the background here. Oh no, that's not what we want. Hold on. Bear with me. We've got the fun and games now of trying to change the. Hold on. All right, there we are. So let's have a look, shall we? So no, FIA European Truck Racing Championship is looking great, and we will have a video on that soon, and it's looking fantastic, really good. I mean, really good at the moment. Can't say anything about it at the moment, but as a fan of GT Sport, I'm liking Gran Turismo, liking European truck racing for sure. Where is the controller? Yeah, you can't. I was just having a look at this, guys, and don't tell me there's no audio. Bear with me. There we are. I don't know if we're getting. Still, trouble is, I'm still hearing that. Don't know if you guys are hearing any audio on this, so I'm just going to see if it works. Audio still seems to be coming from the racing. Bear with me, viewers. No. Bear with me. Alright. No sound. No sound. Oh, that was me hoping to do some PC gaming tonight, and see if you guys are hearing anything at home. I'm going to turn up the no. Oh well. No PC gaming tonight then. I don't know. I was hoping to do a bit of PC gaming just to mix it up a bit with the Gran Turismo. But it's it was all working fine earlier. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Let's quit event then. So that's it. We're just going to fix this. And then we're going to be ready to go, viewers. We're going to take a look at a bit of this. Actually, what I'm going to do is leave you just with a quick demo of this for a minute, and then I'll be straight back. Hold on. Pop to loo, and then I'll be get myself some more water, and then I'll be ready to go. Right, straight back, viewers. Okay, viewers, back again. So, just a quick biscuit, cup of tea, finish another cup of tea. Yes, Rob, it's all sorted. I've realised what it was now. Just a quick break. Right, let's get our where are we? What scene are we in? General gaming on the PC. All right, let's pause this for a minute. Stop that sound, and let's take a look at general gaming on the PC, and away we go. Okay, so we're back, viewers, and let's see. I reckon we'll see how many people dwindle. Lots of people switch off as soon as we do anything other than Gran Turismo. Sadly, just one of those things. But never mind. I just wanted to take a look at this. Nobles map. Does anyone know how you unlock the floaty cars in this, by the way? I'm going to have a quick look, but if I can't unlock them quickly, I'm just going to go back to Gran Turismo. Let's just see if we can. That drawing there reminds me a lot of the tank in Aliens, doesn't it? I don't know how you unlock the, you know, doodad. Oh, so that's one of the new tracks there, is it? Let's have a look at it. Oh, I've done too many laps. Never mind. Let's just have a look at it anyway. Turn that off for a minute. I'll have a quick look at it, then go back to some Gran Turismo in a moment, but just, I just went to see this track. Oh, bad start. Cool looking track. Wow, cool. Space age lighting action. No idea where I'm going. Oh, blimey. Very cool though. Love the colour palette. Damn. Okay, so this isn't good. This isn't good. This isn't good. Oh well. It was always going bad for me there, wasn't it? The game is as difficult as it's ever been, for sure. Lap 2 in last place. Ah. I didn't know where to go. Oh well. It's a bit of a late reset there. Oh well. I'd actually say completely the opposite there, actually, Lemon. I think a lot of the tracks are very challenging, to the point that unless you really know them inside out, they're really tough. And like there, I was getting confused as to where I was actually just supposed to drive. That's all. So I'll have a quick look at the campaign anyway. I mean, obviously, when you look at the game info, my progress is nothing on this. So, you know, my stats are 0% of 0. So maybe you have to do something to unlock the... Yeah, so you need to unlock a level to go into it. Have a quick look at the campaign while we're here. Let's have a quick look. And then we'll go back to Gran Turismo for a race. I'm feeling more awake. I just need to play something a bit more chilled for a minute. A bit more chilled. Conserve tyres and fuel. Yeah, people saying that. So it's very difficult to conserve tyres though. Fuel is one thing, but don't do that. Don't do that. It shouldn't change view when you're just go. It's better outside the car, isn't it? I should change the sensitivity on the handling, I think. I've mentioned this before, I just need to make it less sensitive, I think. It's hard to keep it going exactly where I want it. Probably won't take long to unlock the. Hopefully the. So Let's get through this level 1 bit and then see if we can unlock some floaty craft. I just wanted to have a look at that. At least we've got PC gaming running properly now. This is great. Again, I don't know these tracks. This is another new track since I last played it. Very cool looking though. It's going to follow everyone else really. Mars surface. Or moon of Mars. Don't know. Very Martian looking track. Done. Maybe some Assetto Corsa. Yeah, we could take a little look at that actually, if I can get it working. I can test on this stream if it works now, because now I can play PC games. I'm going to check a couple of different things on this stream. We'll try it out, guys. Yeah, we'll have a look at this and then we'll see if I can get Assetto Corsa working. Obviously, I've not got the wheel attached, so see if I can get the wheel attached. Now this is a track I did before, but not necessarily so I remember much of it, if any of it. Oh right, okay. Thought we could hold on there, but obviously not. Floating cars, look at that, cool. Well, he floated over me. It's interesting the way they've got us all racing together as well. I thought that the floaty car mode would be a whole different thing. It's very much a sort of Blade Runner style atmosphere, isn't it? Oh, there's always a guy trying to ram you, isn't there? There's always one of those rammers who doesn't get a penalty. Come on, speed. Give me more speed. Done. So, there we are. Yeah, Rob, this is kind of like a, you know, like you say, it's a re-envisioning of grip, but by adding the craft, they're sort of more like F-Zero than Wipeout in terms of the way they hover. Observationally speaking, I was just going to see what they. So we're not quite up to where we need to be. We need to do one more tournament. So let's do this, and then we can unlock the floaty pod racing. Absolutely, Lemon. Absolutely. Cool. Okay, that was a bit close. Oh, trying to take me out. Scum. Scum. It's going to be close, this race. I don't think we're going to win this one quite so easily, unfortunately. We're in the mix. We're going to save our boost for later if we can. One. Missed the other two boosts. That's a shame. Give me that. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Made it. Just about made it. That's good then. Thought it was over for us, but they're letting us get somewhere here. This is the PC version. Absolutely, but it's supposed to run at 60 frames on console as well, so sort of have a little check out and see how I get on with it. Let's see, items have been unlocked, so let's do this one. We'll do a couple of these races and then we've unlocked a hovercraft thing and I can take a look at that. And once in the beginning part of this career, let's just get it done. Then it's done then. And we're exploring the tracks, aren't we? It's just something different for you guys. Different. And it's more relaxing for me from the hardcore, online, stressful racing. Darn. I was going to go for that one. Cool. It's like Mario Kart with weapons. It's like we're in the world of Game of Thrones. The Night King is waiting. Do you know, I honestly didn't have a clue where I was... Let's get rid of those bullets, we don't need them. Oh, I had my shield on. That's it. Long laps. Super long laps. Oh, I had no warning that was coming. There was no... Oh, wow, okay. I really like the visuals in this game. Really nice artwork, you know, has gone into producing it. It's very polished. Very polished. Good. Good to come back on that one. Good to come back on that one, guys. So, yeah. A little bit of ash money in there. Right. So a little bit of something different there. 8 o'clock on a Friday evening. And to continue. Last race in this section. Let's just do this one. And then we might take a look at the floaty craft. I think we've unlocked the level 1 floaty craft. So just go into this. A lot of these tracks are new, either new or heavily upgraded since I last saw them. You know, and these tracks here are amazing compared to some of the early stuff I saw. And these are the slow cars. I mean, when you're in really fast vehicles, I mean, this must be pretty mind-blowing. Track's super wide here, so I've no idea where I'm going, really. It's nice to have such expansive environments. Where's he going? Wow, super jump. Big wide tracks, very cool. Where am I going? Wow, here we go. Again, not bad. Everybody hasn't switched off yet. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you to everybody still watching. Just trying something different for the moment. I appreciate the fact that many of you haven't switched off yet, which is really nice. Normally, as soon as I change from Gran Turismo, literally everybody turns off. There's like 4 people left. Come on now. Give me some speed. Don't want to go up there because I don't like that other chap went up there. And does that mean someone's going to shoot me? No. You can target someone randomly up there. How weird. Okay. It's all easy right now. When you get later in the game, I'm sure it's going to be sort of ridiculously difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame MotorStorm, you know, Codemasters could have been the home of MotorStorm, really. They weren't. And okay, so that's pretty good. That's that done. I'm just going to back out of that now. We're up to level 3. And see if we can garage. There we go. So we can unlock this now. Let's change the colour a bit. Give ourselves some kind of, like make it a Starbug out of Red Dwarf. Right, let's just try. I don't know, Mindbender. Should we look at? Is that a new track? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's see what Mindbender is like. Let's have a look. Mindbender. Come on. Oh no, the settings were wrong, weren't they? Oh well, never mind. Let's race. MotorStorm with like next gen, even like PS5 graphics. I mean, look what you got with this tech. I mean, and this is an indie game, you know. So we're just doing a try out here. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Wow. All right. Meant to do that. No flukes. Very interesting handling. It's weird. It's weird. Well, this is a very original style of floatiness. It's very different to any floatiness you've floated before. Oh dear. Right. Oh wow. Oh goodness. Let's try zooming in. Zooming in. Okay, so we're on the vehicle now. Oh, what's going on here? Funky. Funky. Very cool though, whatever's going on there. It's like a nightmare effect. It's very different when you're actually on the craft. Crazy visuals. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't know quite what was going on there, but that's alright. And these laps are crazy to learn, aren't they? I mean, this is cool. Where am I going? Right, whoops a daisy. Didn't quite know where I was going then. Ah. Oh, I got hit myself then. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. There we go. Crazy. Just hold on a minute. Let's just turn this up for you guys just so you can get some fat beats. All right. Meant to do that. Ah, missed my lock on. on. Ah, that's a tricky corner. Ah, it's sending me off. Give me power. Do it. No. That's it. Hang in there, Arnie. Oh. Oh no. Should have used my shield. Just got me at the wrong time. It's a bit of a problem. So you've got to stay on the edge bit if you're not at speed. Cool. It's jolly challenging, isn't it? Jolly challenging. Learning these circuits is quite hard as well because they're so long. And you're going around a lot of it upside down. Oh, well, that was that. Fortunately, that big crash there. The hovercrafts are cool, aren't they? They've got some cool looks to them. There's no doubt about it. They've got some cool looks to them. I still, as many of you know, I like a bit of Redout. I like a bit of Redout. I'm going to have a quick look at some Redout because we're going to come back to this. But I want to, for those that haven't seen it, I always like to show off my favourite part of Redout. Yep. Launch. And yep. Let's get this working. Window capture. Hold on, viewers. Bear with me. You might be able to hear it, but you won't be able to see it. Change the options here. Right, I haven't played this for a long time, but I just want to show you guys something because I just think it's cool. It's cool. I love the Neptune deep space. Where are they? Damn, I've done a lot of races on this game. Space exploration. I just wanted to find what the Luna one. I can't do a lot of these because I don't have the DLC. Which one is it? Which one is it? I'm just trying to think what one it is. Let's get out of that for a minute. These are Neptune. I can't remember which one I like the best. I love these tracks though. I'm going to be terrible at this, honestly, but I just want to, if those of you who haven't seen this before, it's Spectacular Gaming. Oh, listen to that soundtrack. Pump it up.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, trying to keep my eye in again. It's just a long time. It's another thing time. Beautiful. Love that. Love that. You've got great music. You've got smooth, wonderful graphics and vision and music. And how many games now have great in-house developed music like that? Suits the track. It's dynamic music, changed on each lap. Ah, amazing. Amazing. And that was the easy track. Let's take a look at the hard track. Just saying. I've never run that, look. Oh, in class 4 I have. I've never run some of these tracks. Look at that. Terrible. These tracks are so hard that there's no words to describe how difficult a track like this is going to be. I don't know the track, so if it's too hard, I'll just give up on it quickly. But just wanted to show you guys this, and then we'll go back to some Gran Turismo and do a race, because I know everyone wants to see Gran Turismo. But I just want to show you guys a bit of this. Let's see how hard it is. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, boosters run out. Oh, hit badly. Let's try and fly it all the way. Okay, we managed it. Oh, so difficult. Not as easy as it looks, I tell you, viewers. These tracks. Know some of the corners of this. See, that to me is some
Gold medal
epically different
awarded.
game, but I'm wired for it. You know, stressful to play, but I love it. Absolutely. Flight of the Valkyries, absolutely. That'd go well with it. That is, it's a bit of that, Pius. It's a bit of that. I'll exit that now because I know. Obviously, you know, not everybody wants to see a bit of Redout, but I do. That's one of my favourite games, actually. So when I'm not streaming, I'll generally play some Redout, something like that. I'll just do some laps, and it's got some great tracks, great soundtrack. What a great game! That is a recommended, good futuristic flight game there, for me personally. That I absolutely love that game. And then of course I showed a few weeks ago some, you know, some Grid 2, Grid Autosport, and some Gravel, which is good fun as well. But we're going to go back now to Gran Turismo. I think finish off. Let's just take a look at Gran Turismo and just get that sorted. And then my PC is doing a download. I apologise about that. It's got an auto download going on, so that will affect the stream, unfortunately. But there you go. It's normally not a problem, obviously, because you're not normally streaming. Right. We just learned how to drive this course, and now we've completely forgotten. But you know what? Let's just see what time the races are anyway. We're nowhere near the top players, but if it puts us any lower than 12th on the grid, then you know it's so let's enter a race. Let's finish off today, viewers, with a race, shall we? A race. Before we do, let's just take the race details. I haven't watched much in the way of these races online, but 6 times and 13 times. And how many laps? 8 laps. So in other words, it's just pitting halfway, isn't it, frankly? That's basically it. Just short shift a little bit, and you know, that's it. So no fill. The Redout does it for me. Now let's see. And of course, Phil, it's good to see you here as well. Funny thing is that I don't normally see people's. I've started recently just adding the YouTube chat as well as the other chat, because I and if I do miss your comments, I apologise for that. Just a couple from comments. So if I do miss a couple of the comments on Twitch, I am keeping an eye on that as well. Well, Rob, I'm just gonna drive round. I'm gonna pit. I don't know what a good time to pit is gonna be, really. I think it'd just be a case of pitting when it suits me, really. I think if I'm being blocked and held up, you know, make a decision there and then. Brum, brum, brum. Right, let's try. Okay, we're not going to go with hard tyres and all that rubbish. We're just going to have medium tyres. We're just going to race fast, and we're just going to enjoy ourselves. I mean, when you look at the graphics on these various different games, it just shows how impressive these graphics are from Polyphony on a system like this. You know, your mind boggles when you think of what Gran Turismo is going to look like on the new hardware. It's just going to look incredible, basically. Going to look incredible when they have you know, three or four times the power of this console. I mean, they're going to be amazing. Games are going to be amazing. I think the next gen's really got the potential to take things forward, because like you say, you'll be able to have full VR and you'll be able to have weather and improved physics and improved AI, and not to mention obviously the graphics. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to pit when I'm ready, basically. I think if you pit in the midway, then, you know, it just depends on the pace of everybody around you. I mean, I just want to try it out and see how I get on. Doesn't matter if I finish last. I just want to try, and obviously I'd rather not finish last, but that's the way it is, so be it. So we made a big mistake in the middle of the lap, which lost us a lot of lap time. Trying to find some more pace there, but it didn't work out for me. Interesting hairpin that, isn't it? I mean, maybe you've got to take a really wide entry to maximise it. As I say, you make all these mistakes in well, quicker this lap, despite a mistake early on. So it just shows, really, like you say, turning off the traction control does hold you back quite a bit, the traction control, if you can take the time to learn with it off. Shows how much quicker I was through there before as well. Amazing. Shows how much traction control is slowing me down, doesn't it? When you look at it, like I'm pretty much doing what I was before. So again, quick lube break, and then ready onto the driving. So a couple of mistakes, but we're still ahead of where we were, which is much better. Finding a bit of pace before the race. It's interesting, that final corner. It seems like there is several lines through it there. And there we go. So lots of time to discover, isn't there, on this course? It's you know, you make a mistake like that and you lose it all so quickly. So half a second was found in the first sector, really. Okay, into the race. Haven't had my break. Right. Straight back. Hello viewers. Okay, so disappointing grid placement then, eh? Where are we? 15th on the grid. Oh, it's just what I was hoping to avoid, you know. However, it is what it is. It's our first race on this track, and you can see there, you know, like I say, 15.2. I mean, from the top guy there. I mean, these are laps that are well beyond my capability, you know, with the time I've had. So, what can we do, viewers? What can we do from here? I don't think there's much we can do from here, really. I think it's just a matter of having a go and enjoying the race today. We're just going to chill out, hopefully, and just see if anyone falls off. And 15th. Let's try and finish nearer 10th. I mean, there's some good drivers in here as well. Yeah. Oh, I see. Everyone's saving fuel, aren't they? Or something. Right. No one wants to rev the engine. Please let me get off the corner first. Ah, this is not good. I'm not going to get off the corner, am I? No, he's blocking the inside. Good man. Everyone's being very careful through there because the car handles slightly differently. Just trying to avoid everybody there. Got a laggy car in front. It's making life difficult. Can't tell where he is at all. Gonna give him a bit of space for a minute because it's a bit of mayhem because of what's going on here. Is you've got a lot of cars in everybody's way here. Oh goodness me, whatever happened there? He went to the barrier. There's probably a bit of fuel saving going on as well, but we're not doing all that. That was quite a late dive there, but there wasn't much I could do. Wasn't much I could do there. If I had taken the inside line, he was so committed to it that I feel we could have collided. There's a lot of action in this race, isn't there? I mean, goodness me, from a viewing perspective, great racing, seeing everybody racing so close. You know, you'd think everyone's going to pile up on every corner, wouldn't you? He got loads of wheel spin there and it gave me an SR down, which is a shame. Don't really know why. Maybe he's lagging, he lagged into me or something, don't know. Oh well, there's two of them out of the way. Okay, so 8th place after all that mayhem. Goodness. On to lap 3. Tyres are wearing. It's doing okay actually, tyre wise. So the guy behind me's quicker, I think. So he'll probably overtake me soon. So, this chap is very laggy, so it makes it very difficult to race against him. He was the one I was up against earlier. So we're closing up on the next bunch of cars, surprisingly. I think their battle's really slowing them down, which is quite surprising given how slow our early laps were. Or perhaps they're saving fuel, in which case I'm just going to be struggling later. But I've no idea. Who knows? Who knows? What I'll do is I'll just knock down the fuel a bit, because I think we're in a place now where even if we get overtaken, save a little bit of fuel. And we'll just see if we can save a bit of fuel. Oh, it makes the car handle differently. Sod it. It's no good. Let's just drive it and take the fuel stop. I know it sounds silly, but the car handles so differently when you change the settings sometimes that it's not worth all the effort. So we'll pick this lap and go on to more new tyres and go from there. Eighth place. Okay, take that. Started in 15th and now in 8th, so if we can hold a top 10, I think that would be nice. Oh, the guy behind me is flying, isn't he? Chap is flying. So 4.6 seconds to the cars in front, and we're going to see if we can close on them. If we can, that'll be great. If we can't, no problem. Just concentrating at the moment. Got that wrong. It's a shame. Damn. Damn. Tyres are wearing a bit already. It's gaining on them and I've lost my flow. This chap's holding me up now. this guy's halted my charge. The chap behind us must have spun off or something. Nearly went off with him there, just looking at him and turning to avoid sort of thing, and suddenly you're like, oh my goodness. Okay, that was alright, it was alright. We slowed it those last couple of laps because I felt that let's just bring it home, you know? 6th place though, guys. From 15th on the grid, was it? Or 16th on the grid, you know? That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. 12 seconds off the lead, is that? Given I started in 15th place and had to spend the first few laps just hanging behind other people, including Mr. Superlag, whoever he was. That was alright. Good result. Good result. Good result. Good result. Good result. Look at that. 9 places. 9 whole places, viewers. It's quite tense, but I do enjoy the thrill of the race more than, especially racing human beings. Let's just save the lobby, the replay. It does take so long to level up, doesn't it? Yeah, save the replay. That was good. That was good. And okay, so that was that. That was good. That was good. I enjoyed that. Let's back out for a minute. Just have a look at the replay for a minute. When is the next race, actually? 2 seconds. Let's just see when the next race is. Because it will probably be that, and then I'll... Next race is at 9 o'clock. Oh, it's in 5 minutes, is it? I don't know if I want to do one straight away. Do you know what I mean? It's like... I've been streaming now for 3.5 hours. Am I awake enough to do one more race? No, I won't do one now, because it is pretty draining. But I'm going to look at the replay of that race because that was cool. And maybe I'll jump on for a stream on Sunday or something. I'll see. I'm not around tomorrow. It's always like that, isn't it? You learn a track and then it changes next week, and I've barely had a chance to run it. You know, there was the old Formula 1 style cars a couple of weeks ago, the turbo ones, and I was just learning how to drive that course. And then just, you know, if I'd learned on Monday, I'd have been able to, you know, get good results all week, basically. Oh, goodness me, viewers. I've got to get something to eat. Anyway, get some dinner. Hungry. Let's just have a look at this, though. Jacob earlier was just asking, what do you like more, Forza 7 or this game? What game is more popular as an online game? Well, I think they're both very popular online, but I much prefer Gran Turismo. I prefer the physics, I prefer the look of the courses, I prefer the lighting. The whole game is just better. It's just superior to Forza Motorsport, which has nice visuals, but little else in that sense. It's a way behind. Here we go then. This was so 15th on the grid. Amazing, isn't it? Moving all that way up. Wasn't expecting that. I do like the paint job on that other car there. I'm going to have to get that. Got to get that. That's nice. Castrol paint job. There it is then. So this was an interesting race, wasn't it? I mean, there was one guy who lunged inside, but I was aware of it. It's just sometimes you just... The guy ahead of me, this ASJD guy, what's his name? Jack. He was hard to follow because he was lagging a lot in the actual race, but it doesn't show the lagging in the replay, which is interesting. So you actually see where he was on the track in the replay, whereas you didn't when you were playing. It's very different looking at it here, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, Forza Motorsport, I love Forza, but it's... let's face it, Gran Turismo Sport is way ahead in online, and just graphics and physics. It's all just so what yeah, I did. I got a big bash there. I wondered if something hit me because the rear end just totally lost it. That slowed him down a bit. If anything, it gave me a little boost actually. Got past Frosty into 14th. That was a good little race there. What does VVV Mars VG mean? VVV stands for Veni Vidi Vici. Mars stands for my games shop I was going to open, which stocked merchandise, amusements, retro software and video games. So that's where VVV Mars VG comes from. So it's my two little businesses I was going to create. And of course I never got to create the Mars one, which was a shame. Would have been awesome. Good action though, isn't it? We're up to 14th here. Who would have thought we were going to finish in 6th place? That guy gave me a little bit of a bash there. Went up the inside, but it's all right. We were learning. Down to 15th again. So you think at the end of the first lap, I can't get past these guys. I mean, I'm not nearly going at full pace here. That's the thing. Everyone's really slow. That's what I was so surprised at. So this is what I don't understand about online racing. Everybody set amazing lap times, but then you come into the races and they're nowhere near as quick in the races. How can you be 2 seconds quicker in your lap time, but then when it comes to the race, you're 3 seconds slower? It's crazy. Up to 12th somehow. What? It all happened there, didn't it? I went from 15th to 12th in a couple of corners. This is where the guy makes the lunge. I can see him, and he makes the lunge here, doesn't he? And yeah, I could see him. So you see, I gave him some space there because I thought, let's give him some space. Let's make it tight for him, but give him some space. Otherwise, we're just going to end up at the same point of the track at the same time. See Mr. Lagger up there, lagging around. Good racing action, wasn't it? I didn't realise how much was going on, really. Look at that. Trying to catch these guys. Look at them, racing ahead of me. Pure action throughout the field. But just trying to keep myself out of trouble here. That's all I'm trying to do, is just say, well, just keep myself tidy. Passed a couple of cars there, up into 10th. Now, so got from 15th to 12th and then 12th to 10th just when two cars got moved out of the way. You're just trying to bide your time, aren't you, and avoid trouble. Thanks, Brian. It's gradually improving. It's just I wasn't going flat out in any of this, really. I was just trying to be consistent, and that's what's so encouraging when you watch it afterwards and you think, oh, do you know what, I wasn't really pushing. It's only that corner where I struggle. The rest of the lap wasn't too bad. I think everybody struggles there. There you go, look, two guys went off. Struggling on that corner. Interesting camera shot there. That's another thing that will improve on the PlayStation 5, is they'll be able to have replay cameras wherever they want, where they can't currently. So, you know, where they'd like a replay camera at the end of a straight, they can't do it because you've got to render the entire straight. It's a lot to do. So you'll have ever improving replays. Now we're up to 8th. So I don't know what happened. A couple of people pit, maybe somebody went off. And we've got Kingsway behind us, who's closing on us. All the way through the race, I actually felt he was probably quicker than us. But, for whatever reason, I somehow managed to keep ahead of him. I think it's testament when you watch these races to... Greyhawk was just asking, is a wheel essential for GT Sport Online play? Absolutely not, no. Many of the top players use pad. I use a wheel, obviously, because that's what I use, but many of the top players are still using pads. So, you know, you're literally talking about maybe, when it comes to the very top players, like the top 20, whether they like pad more or not, they have to learn to use the wheel, because if they make it to the FIA finals, they have to use a wheel. So we're sort of forced into that. But other than that, no, you can play. This game has exceptional controller handling. Exceptional. So I'm trying to close on these guys. But the lagging of the car in front, it is quite off-putting when you're driving. I mean, that when ahead of you is very difficult to follow. You're only on lap 3 of 8. It's only 8 laps, but they're long laps, aren't they? Long laps. Let's see, hang on. So closing up to 7th, somebody pitted there, didn't they? And so of course he will have finished ahead of me when he came out. The problem is, when you pit so early, your tyres really fall off in the latter part of the race, and that could be one of the cars that span out. I wonder who that was that pitted. This is quite interesting to see actually. I just want to rewind it so I'm in 8th. So I'm in 8th. And the guy ahead of me is the AS Jack SD. Okay. Let's see where... So I'm in 7th. Let's just see. So I'm in 7th. I come out in 8th. And he wasn't there at all. Where was he then? So he was always all the way up to 4th due to having that earlier pit stop. It's quite interesting. Look at the lag, terrible, wasn't it, for anyone trying to follow him? I mean, that's impossible to follow for the guy behind. But it means he had like no tyres on the final lap. Where did he finish? I just want to see where this guy finished now. Now the last lap is critical. So you got heavy tyre wear on the final lap. Look, see, now your tyres are gone, you see, where it all seemed good earlier. I just want to see, it's really hard to defend against guys on better tyres. Now these guys might crash into him because, look at that, how can you race with that? It's crazy. I'm impressed he's staying ahead of him actually. Well, it looks like he's going to manage it. Managed it. Well done to him. So that worked. The earlier pit stop worked for him, despite worn tyres. That's really interesting. Other chap went off, trying to do the final corner. That's really interesting. Wasn't too far behind actually. Let's just rewind a bit because this is really handy tech information. So we got me in 7th there. That chap had a much longer pit stop. We go going first. He had a slightly shorter pit stop, so he was slightly more economical on his fuel. That tells you. That's what that is. That chap really was, wasn't he, in 3rd? Cool, look at the action these guys are having. Wow, final lap. All action for the lead. This is great. Good lap as well, look at that, 2:17. On it. He pitted on lap 3, yeah, 2:35. That's a really interesting how short that pit stop was. When you think you've got to fuel up for the entire race. So he did some serious fuel saving in that earlier stint. I still don't fully understand all of that. But that's it for now then, viewers. I hope you've enjoyed the stream tonight. Good bit of racing action. Seen a bit of grip. Seen a bit of floaty cars. We've seen a bit of, Redout and a bit of Gran Turismo getting back to form. Maybe we'll see. Felt nice to finish ahead of where I started and get a good result. But that's it from me for now, viewers. Thanks for tuning in tonight on this Friday evening, and there'll be more from me very soon.